Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back. Today we're diving into the world of buyer personas. I'm going to explain why I think they're highly crucial to your brand strategy, and your marketing strategy, and how to build them. Before we begin, make sure to check out the original blog post over at resonatestudio.com where I break down this video but just in a written format. It was also the inspiration for this video, so it'll make me super happy if you guys go read that. Now let's get into it. So what exactly are buyer personas? I like to think of them as a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer. So instead of looking at your audience as a whole, this helps you break your audience into kind of like bite-sized pieces that are very manageable. And this is going to help us really cater our marketing techniques to them. So now let's break down the steps to have a killer buyer persona. So these steps are also in the blog post if you want to follow along there. So first, I recommend that you research. Literally take a deep dive into your existing customer data, maybe do some surveys with your audience. You can even do customer interviews and maybe even stalk them a little bit on social media just to kind of understand how they are already interacting with the content that you have out there. And so this step is really just about gathering insights into your audience's demographics, their preferences, and especially their pain points. You're really going to want to know them like your best friend. Next, you're going to want to identify patterns. So look for commonalities around your audience. Are there any specific challenges they face? Do they maybe share common interests or values? These patterns are going to help you group your audiences. Into distinct personas. You may notice at this point that you can form multiple groups. So if you do have more than one segment of customers, that is totally okay. However, for most of my clients, I don't recommend having more than 3 because you want to get super specific here. So now comes the fun part, actually developing their personas. So we are going to give each segment that we just created a face, a name, and a story. And what this does is this makes the person or the segment, that is now a person, super relatable and memorable for your team and for anybody who may be using this information. And so to make this story really well-rounded, I recommend including little details like their titles at work, their challenges, their goals for the future, and even their personal hobbies. So now that you have your personas, let's talk about how to use them effectively in your marketing strategy. So now that you understand exactly who your audience is, exactly who you want to speak to, and who you know is going to purchase from you, you can tailor your content to match their preferences. So whether this is blog posts, videos, or social media updates, just make sure that it speaks directly to the needs and interests of each persona, and you can't go wrong. With buyer personas, you can create highly targeted ads as well. So no more of this like one size fits all, aiming in the dark. No. We now know exactly who we want to speak to and what percentage of our audience that this person represents. So using your insights from your buyer personas research, you can craft really compelling and personalized ad campaigns. Okay, so now that we've covered like the really fun stuff, let's maybe talk about some things that I just want you guys to be aware of. So one common mistake that I see is making assumptions. This is why step number 1 is so important, because a lot of times we can just like rely on instinct to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this person wants. But a lot of times our ideal customer is telling us exactly what they want. So we shouldn't have to make assumptions. The second thing that I see most commonly is not being flexible over time. So buyer personas, just like our brand strategy and just like our marketing strategies, do change over time. So these are not set in stone. As the marketplace changes, as customer taste changes, make sure that your buyer personas reflect those changes so that you can stay competitive in your marketplace. And there you have it, a crash course on your buyer personas. I hope that you guys use it in your marketing strategies and you take it into consideration in the future with your brand strategy. And if you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and please share it with your friends. And do subscribe for more brand strategy advice. Until next time.